morning. It's a blessing to be here. And I mean that. You know, I'm a deep Christian, and this campaign for the future of the city is our ministry. Before I say anything, you know, ever since I gave my life to God over 20 years ago, I've been in church a lot. And I have never heard a music ministry that amazing. I'm under the collar now because I was dancing so much. And I really mean, I really would love to get the CD. It was amazing. It was just a touch on the spirit. And what I thought I would do in my few minutes is just to really share a testimony about how God has been in my life, because that's what pushes us into this campaign for the future of the city. I grew up in the South Ward of Newark, and I grew up like a lot of kids in my neighborhood. My mom was a young mother. She was only a teenage mom. She was only 19 when she gave birth to me, and she wasn't ready. You know, I would have my first babies at 30. And I'd be married, and I wasn't ready then. So it's amazing to think about what my mom did. She did the best she could. But for the first 8 years of her life, of my life, while she was kind of wrestling and reconciling herself to motherhood, I spent time with a lot of different relatives. Every year and a half, I was with a different home, a different family. My grandfather, an aunt, another aunt. When I was 8, I went to go live with my mom. And I thought that was really going to be the beginning of the rest of my life. Because there's nothing like your mom. Right? There's nothing like your mother. She's the center of everything, the center of love, the center of security, the center of peace. And so I was really excited to begin the rest of life with my mother. But things can happen in an amazing way. We had a broken lock not too long after I got there, maybe a few weeks. My mom found a locksmith to fix the lock. The locksmith and my mother would enter into a relationship. She would get pregnant with my little sister. We would go to Vegas and get married. It's just me, the locksmith, and my mother. No family there. Which I didn't think about then, but in retrospect, I can understand what was going on. And shortly after that, my mom was pregnant. And I remember vividly, to this day, this locksmith was asking my mother questions about the phone bill. And this is back when you had paper phone bills, and everything is electronic now. He was rifling through and asking questions. And apparently he didn't like the answer my mother gave him because he then struck her. And she fell back into a baker's rack we had, and this piece of sculpture fell back on her. And this will begin a period of domestic violence that happens all the time. It happens every day in our community. It oftentimes gets swept under the rug, and we live through it. She did like many women did. She would get restraining order after restraining order, and they would be ignored. He would come out, and it would happen again. It got so bad we had to flee. We're on the run. We're in a shelter for a while. We finally found a new apartment, and we had thought we might be away from this person, but unfortunately he knew where my mother worked. On November 25th, 1985, she went to work. She told me when she came back, she would take me to see Rocky IV, which had just come out this week. You mind if I borrow these? Because I was dancing so much. I hope I break protocol. That song, I confess, I was about to take my jacket off, my shirt, like the song was amazing. Then I'm not running. With the running song, I was taking everything off, I had a tank top on it. I'm not as shape I used to be. I apologize for that. But November 25th, 1985, she went to work. And she left, said we were going to go see Rocky IV, which was coming out that week. I don't know if anybody remembers the first 3 Rockies, Mr. T, Club of Lang, I love that. Rocky IV with the Ivan Drago, and the commercials made it seem epic. So I was really excited to go see it. But unfortunately, when she went to work, the locksmith was waiting for her. And he would say later, he just happened to have his sawed-off shotgun in his van. And my mom didn't make it out. So I came back home to Newark. My father popped up, said I'm going to raise my son. He really wasn't around much prior to that. I was with him a few months. I came home one day and he was gone. No letter, no note, no anything. But obviously I'm here today in front of you. And I'm here today in front of you because of God, and I'm very clear about that. My grandfather came and got me, and he was always there for me. He was always a rock. You know, when I heard Christ in me like gravity and Christ being our rock, I was going to take my jacket off to that one too. He was always my rock. So he came and got me and picked me up and said everything is going to be okay. He got very sick, so then he took me to my grandmother's house, and she took me in. So she had my little 6-month-old sister. She had me. I was now 11 years old. She put me in the Boys and Girls Club on Hawthorne Avenue in the South Ward of Newark. I would walk through those doors, and I'd be told I was special. That you're beautiful. No matter what happened to you, you can do all things. Especially have faith in something bigger and broader and stronger than you are. I'd be there about a year later playing basketball. freestyling, rapping, doing the things we did. And I would get a tap on the shoulder. And they asked me to fill out this paperwork. I filled it out, didn't know what I was doing. And they would tell me a few weeks later, we're giving you a scholarship to go to a place called Seton Hall Prep.
All right.
I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what Seton Hall was. I didn't know what a prep of a Seton Hall was. All my grandma says, you're going to put this little deep V cardigan vest they have with a little symbol on it that I didn't want to wear. You're going to go to Lehigh and Bergen Street, wait for the 39. You're going to get on the bus, go downtown. When the 73 comes, you're going to get on that. It's going to take you up the hill to Northfield Ave. When it drops you up there, you're going to walk up the hill. You're going to walk through that door, and you're going to do what they tell you to do. And I followed those instructions, and I walked through those doors. And it was a Catholic institution that believed in the power of God to transform lives. I had always done well in school. 4 years later, how am I going to pay for college? God provides again. I received a scholarship. I received a scholarship from the Terrell Foundation that said, wherever you want to go in the United States, we're going to pay for it. Wow. So I went to the great Duke University as well as Dr. Purnell did. And so after that, and then it was off. So after I went to law school, it was very clear to me, God didn't bless me for me to just kind of do well for my family and don't look back. So after law school, while everybody else over the school was going to law firms, making a lot of money in corporations, I decided to come back home. I've been representing Orcas for free for about 15 years on a little bit of everything. Domestic violence matters a lot to me for obvious reasons. Education changed my life. We created a school called Team Academy. We sued the state to put more money in our public schools. I served as the president of the school board to try to reform our school system, and a variety of other things. I know I'm running out of time, so I won't get into all of that. So I really just want to say this. The reason I tell you all of that is not really because I want you to know stuff about me, but it's a testimony to real stuff about us. Amen. About what we together can do in our communities, so that every child, every family can have an opportunity to fulfill that potential. And you know, we have plans on safety, security, jobs, housing, healthcare, and I'd love to talk to you in another context about all of that. But at the end of the day, the center for me is God and is Christ. Because I believe faith through Him means that we can make the city of Newark and all of its people the amazing, shining, beautiful representation of God's glory that they were created to be, and that they are not right now. So we can do something about that. And for us to do anything about it, we have to do it together. So we need your help. Amen. We need your time. We need your energy. We need your volunteer time. This is an amazing sacrifice for our family in terms of what this process is like. By ourselves, nothing will happen. Nothing will change. All of us together, we can change all things. God bless you. I love you. Thank you for an opportunity to talk to you this morning.